Hello book lovers, welcome to Uncommon Reader. My name is Daniela. Today's video is entirely dedicated to Orbital by Samantha Harvey. This was among my February reads, a read that really touched my heart deeply. It's a very poetic book. It's an homage to our planet Earth as we follow the stories of 6 astronauts that are in orbit around the Earth, and we follow their last few hours before they return to Earth, and we experience their emotions. They are filled with contradictions because they are missing their loved ones at home, but at the same time they already miss their time spent in space, because what they experience there is quite magical. Looking at the Earth from afar, it looks like a little blue pearl without continents, without borders. It's quite a touching view if you think of it, right? Not just in a metaphorical way, but also the fact that there are so many contrast, wars, and from afar this Earth looks like a unity, one single thing. And this image of watching Earth without borders and without any frontiers, without any divisions of cultures, to me it just looked like a beautiful vision of universal love, if only. So we get to know each of these characters, as some of them are reminiscing of family moments, and also their experience, what it means, to be in space. The poetry of Orbital is not just because of the magnificent images of space, but also because it explores deeply the human soul, which is always in turmoil and always having these questions about our existence. So let's dive into some of these pages. I've marked a few moments that I really found touching. And I'm gonna start right at the beginning when they awake. Outside, the Earth reels away in a mass of moon glow, peeling backward as they forge towards its edgeless edge. The tufts of cloud across the Pacific brighten the nocturnal ocean to cobalt. Now there's Santiago on South America's approaching coast, in a cloud haze burn of gold. Unseen through the closed shutters, the trade winds blowing across the warm waters of the Western Pacific have worked up a storm, an engine of heat. The winds take the warmth out of the ocean where it gathers as cloud which thicken and curdle and begin to spin in vertical stacks that have formed a typhoon. As the typhoon moves west towards southern Asia, their craft tracks eastward and down towards Patagonia, where the lurch of a far-off aurora dooms the horizon in neon. The Milky Way is a smoking trail of gunpowder shot through a satin sky. On board the craft, it's Tuesday morning, 4:15, the beginning of October. Out there, it's Argentina, it's the South Atlantic, it's Cape Town, it's Zimbabwe. Over its right shoulder, the planet whispers morning, a slender molten breach of light. They slip through time zone in silence. They have each at some point been shot into the sky on a kerosene bomb, and then through the atmosphere in a burning capsule with the equivalent weight of 2 black bears upon them. They have each steeled their rib cages against the force until they felt the bears retreat, one after the other, and the sky becomes space, and gravity diminish, and their hair stand on end. 6 of them, in a great H of metal hanging above the Earth. They turn head on wheel. 4 astronauts, American, Japanese, British, Italian, and 2 cosmonauts, Russian and Russian, 2 women, 4 men, 1 space nation made up of 17 connecting modules, 17,500 miles an hour. They are the latest of 6 of many, Nothing unusual about this anymore. Routine astronauts in Earth's backyard, Earth's fabulous and improbable backyard, turning head on heel in the slow drift of the hurdle, head on hip, on hand on heel, turning and turning with the days. The days rush. They will each be here for 9 months or so, 9 months of this weightless drifting, 9 months of this swollen head, 9 months of this sardine living, 9 months of this earthward gaping, then back to the patient planet below. Another passage I wanted to read regards the Italian, but not because he's Italian astronaut, but because of something he's reflecting on, which I thought was very deep. So he's reflecting back on a conversation he had with his daughter, who asked him, do you think process is beautiful? And he, of course, jumped into the response saying, yes, it's beautiful. So he was very positive about it. But then going back and thinking about this conversation, he actually think he would have responded differently. And he would have said, I don't know, my love, because who can look at man's neurotic assault on the planet and find it beautiful? Man's hubris, a hubris so almighty, it's matched only by his stupidity. And these phallic ships thrust into space are surely the most hubristic of them all, the totem of a species gone mad with self-love. But what he meant to say to his daughter, and what he will say when he returns, is that progress is not a thing, but a feeling. It's a feeling of adventure and expansion that starts in the belly and works up to the chest, and so often ends in the head, where it tends to go wrong. It's a feeling that he has almost perpetually when he's here, in both the biggest and smallest of moments. This belly chest knowing of the deep beauty of things and of some improbable grace that has shot him up here in the thick of the stars. And here's another deep reflection by Sean, the American astronaut. He's been asked by a journalist, how are we writing the future of humanity? So he had to ponder on this question that was sent, I think, over an email. So he was sort of discussing this with the others, but at one point he came up with a solution, an answer, which is this. How are we writing the future of humanity? We're not writing anything, it's writing us. We're wind-blown leaves. We think we're the wind, but we're just a leaf. And isn't it strange how everything we do in our capacity as humans only asserts us more as the animals we are? Aren't we so insecure as species that we're forever gazing at ourselves and trying to ascertain what makes us different? We great, ingenious, curious beings who pioneer into space and change the future, when really the only thing humans can do that other animals cannot is start fire from nothing. That seems to be the only thing. And granted, it's changed everything, but all the same, we're a few flint strikes ahead of everything else. That's it. Chimps could do it if they watched us and learned, and before you know it, they'd be gathering around fires and migrating to colder climes and cooking their food. And what do you know? The solar system into which we venture is just a new frontier now. Our earthly frontiers have been discovered and plundered. That's all this great human endeavor of space exploration really is, he thinks. An animal migration, a bid for survival, a looping song sent into the open, a territorial animal song. And another beautiful, beautiful description of our dear planet Earth. Continents and countries come one after the other, and the Earth feels not small, but almost endlessly connected, an epic poem of flowing verses. It holds no possibility of opposition, and even when the oceans come and calm and calm and calm in a seamless reel, and there's no sense of land or anything but polished blue, And every country we've ever heard of seems to have slid into the cavern of space. Even then, there's no waiting for anything else. There is nothing else and never was. When land comes again, you think, oh yes, as you've just woken up from a captivating dream. And when ocean comes again, you think, oh yes, as if you've woken up from a dream in a dream, until you're so dream-packed that you can find no way out and don't think to try. You're just floating and spinning and flying 100 miles deep inside a dream. Each sentence in this book, it's so beautiful, and so many of these reflections really makes us think about what amazing gift we've been given living in this beautiful planet, and it's so sad that we haven't been able to protect it. Samantha Harvey is an author of 5 novels: Orbital, The Western Wind, Dear Thief, All Is Song, and The Wilderness, which won the Betty Trask Prize, and one work of nonfiction, The Shapeless Unease. Her books have been longlisted for the Booker Prize and the Women's Prize. She lives in Bath, UK, and teaches creative writing at the Bath Spa University. She also won the Hawthornden Prize with this book, and also shortlisted for the Orwell Prize for Political Fiction and the Ursula K. Le Guin Prize for Fiction. Amazing novel, and it's very brief as well, so it only has 207 pages. I really love this book, so I'm highly recommending it. Orbital by Samantha Harvey. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please support this channel with your likes, subscribes, and leave a comment. I love chatting with you all. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Please come back on Wednesday to celebrate Uncommon Reader first year here on BookTube. Ciao!